Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're going to unlock something really cool. It's an innovation that, well, it finally bridges that frustrating gap between a generic AI and one that's actually useful for the stuff you do every day. We're talking about teaching AI the context it just doesn't have. All right, let's just jump right in with a question that I'm sure hits home for a lot of you. How is it that an AI can write a beautiful sonnet, something incredibly creative, but then when you ask it to do a simple, project-specific task, it just completely fails? You ask it to generate a report using your team's format, and it gives you garbage. What's going on there? I mean, look at this. The difference is just night and day, right? On the one hand, you get this super vague, totally unhelpful answer because the AI has zero clue about your project's rules. But then on the other hand, the skill-enhanced AI, it delivers exactly what you asked for. It's precise. It follows all your team's conventions. It's actually useful. It just gets it. And that difference, well, it highlights this massive problem we call the context gap. Think of it like a huge canyon between the AI's general book-smart knowledge of the world and its total, complete ignorance of your world. You know, your projects, your team's way of doing things, your specific code base. So here's the bottom line. A large language model is trained on, like, the entire public internet. That's why it knows about Shakespeare, it knows about coding and Python, but it has absolutely no idea about your company's internal API or your unique database schema, or that very specific bug reporting template everyone on your team has to use. And that gap is what's holding AI back from being truly useful for real, complex work. Okay, so that's the problem. Now, let's talk about the solution, because this is where it gets really interesting. It's this super elegant idea called agent skills, and this is how we start to build a bridge across that context gap. Probably the best way to wrap your head around this is to think about hiring a brilliant new employee. I mean, this person is super smart, super capable, but they know nothing about your company, right? You're not just going to point them to a desk and say, good luck. No way. You're going to give them playbooks, documentation, toolkits. You're going to set them up for success. Well, that's exactly what a skill is for an AI agent. So what is it really? On a technical level, an agent skill is just a folder. That's it. And inside that folder is everything the AI agent needs to learn a new trick. Instructions, scripts, reference materials. This is what lets it discover and learn a new capability, making it way more accurate and efficient at that one specific thing. And this is how it's structured. It's really straightforward. The core of it, the heart of the skill, is this one file, SKILL.md. That's where you write the instructions in just plain English. Then you've got these optional folders for things like reusable code or detailed documentation or other stuff like templates and schemas. Okay, so you might be thinking, wait a minute, if I have hundreds of these skills, isn't the agent going to get totally overwhelmed? Isn't that going to eat up its entire memory? And that's a great question. The secret here is a really clever, really efficient process called progressive disclosure. It's a simple 3-step process, and it's all just in time. So first, when a session starts, the agent just glances at the names and short descriptions of all the skills available. That's it. Step 2. When your request actually matches one of those descriptions, then and only then does it activate the skill and read the full instructions. And finally, step 3. It executes the task, only pulling in specific scripts or files if the instructions tell it to. Super efficient. And this is what makes the whole system so incredibly efficient. You can think of tokens as the AI's, its budget for paying attention. It spends a teeny tiny amount upfront, maybe 50 or 100 tokens, just to know what skills are in the catalog. It's like reading the table of contents. It only spends the big bucks, the big token cost, on reading the one chapter, the one skill it actually needs for the job at hand. This is what keeps everything lean, fast, and scalable. Okay, this is all fantastic, right? But it brings up a huge question. Where do these skills actually come from? You don't just ask another AI to, magic them into existence. Nope. The best, most effective skills are captured from a much, much more reliable source. And that source is real human expertise. That's the secret sauce. The most powerful skills are the ones that are grounded in what your team already knows. They're about capturing the specific procedures, the unwritten rules, and all that tribal knowledge that your experts use every single day to get things done. And here's the cool part. That expertise is literally all around you. You can get it just by performing a task with the agent, like a watch me do this kind of thing.
Or you can pull it from all the stuff you already have, your internal documentation, your API specs, heck, even the comments in your code reviews. Think about it. Those comments are an absolute goldmine of your team's unspoken rules and best practices.
But, making a really great skill isn't something you do with just once. It's a loop. You build a first draft, then you throw some real-world tests at it. You see where it succeeds, and more importantly, where it fails. Then you go back, you refine the instructions, and you do it all over again. You just keep iterating until that skill is rock solid and reliable.
Okay, so let's zoom out for a second. Why does any of this matter? What's the big takeaway here? Well, it matters because this is going to fundamentally change how we work with AI. I mean, it's a total paradigm shift in how we collaborate.
With skills, we can literally package up deep, specialized knowledge into a tool that anyone on the team can just use. They let us turn those messy, complicated workflows into consistent, repeatable processes. And because it's an open standard, you can build a skill once and then use it everywhere, across different AIs and different tools. Your expert knowledge becomes totally portable.
So, if there's one thing to take away from all this, it's that we're finally moving past the era of generic, one-size-fits-all AI systems. Skills are what transform these generalist AIs into specialized expert collaborators. Collaborators that we can actually teach, that we can trust, and that we can integrate into our most important work.
And that brings us to a final question, something for you to think about. Now that you know you can teach an AI your unique expertise, what's the very first skill you would give it? What's that one tedious or super complex or just mission-critical task at your job that you would hand over right now? Really think about it, because the possibilities, they're pretty incredible.